President William Ruto says Kenya will continue to deepen its ties with China, describing the relationship as being in Kenya's best economic interest. But that position is drawing sharp criticism from Washington, where a powerful Republican senator backed by U.S. President Donald Trump is now pushing to have Kenya stripped of its major non-NATO ally status. Senator Jim Risch of Idaho wants President Ruto investigated not only for his links with China, but also over the deaths of more than 120 protesters and Kenya's alleged associations with Sudan's Rapid Support Forces and Somalia's Al-Shabaab. NTV's Catherine Omwantho begins our bulletin tonight.
In June 2024, Kenya became the first sub-Saharan African country to be granted major non-NATO ally status under Section 517 of the U.S. Foreign Assistance Act of 1961. But this could change. A Republican Senator, Jim Risch, also the chairman of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, is leading efforts to force a full review of Kenya's relationship with Washington, D.C. Earlier in May, Risch had raised concerns about President William Ruto's close ties with Beijing, flagging a statement Ruto made while in Beijing that Kenya and China are co-architects of a new world order. The U.S. senator feels that Kenya's ties with China could hurt American interests. However, President William Ruto says that Kenya's friendship with China remains intact.
They have agreed to a reciprocal arrangement between Kenya and China. They have agreed to remove all the tariffs on our tea, on our coffee, on our avocado, and all other agricultural exports. It's partly why I have a bit of a problem with some of our friends, but it is what I must do for Kenya. You know, it's in the best interest of Kenya that we get into this market.
Some decisions you see nation states making outside there are because that country has weighed the cost-benefit, has done a cost-benefit analysis, and weighed that what you're calling the bad option is actually the best option in the optics and in the eyes of the state.
Risch is pushing for investigations into President William Ruto's administration over the killings of at least 128 protesters during anti-government demonstrations, mostly by police bullets. He accuses the Kenyan state of engaging in extrajudicial killings, abductions, and torture. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who is currently in the United States, says that this is an opportunity to hold the Kenya Kwanza administration to account.
I want to appeal to the people of Kenya living here and working here in the United States to take time to lobby their senators and their congressmen so that they can know exactly what is happening in Kenya, so that when this particular motion comes up for discussion, there is support from the senators here in the United States.
The question Senator Jim Risch is asking is if U.S. military aid may have been used to enable these human rights violations. Welcome. The investigations would also look into President William Ruto's links with Sudan's Rapid Support Forces. Its leader, Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, or Hemedi, is blacklisted by the American government.
And that's why sometimes some people in diplomacy become pariahs. Nobody wants to touch them. For the simple reason, associating with you, they are crimes of association. So Kenya is suffering in part because of that crime of association. You are associating with an individual who the world deems as not a good global citizen.
If the proposals are approved, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be compelled to begin a review and investigations within 90 days and submit a report to Congress within 180 days of the amendments of the U.S. National Defense Authorization Act for 2026. Catherine Omwantho, NTV.